What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be discussing the current spray meta in Fortnite. It has been a very controversial topic within the Fortnite community this season, with a lot of players really liking it and a lot of players really hating it. But before we get into it, if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks, guys, and let's get into it. So as you all know, this season of Fortnite is one of the most spammed seasons of all time, with weapons like the MK7AR, grenade launchers, machine pistols, bows, the auto shotgun, and the most OP of them all, the Stinger SMG. Each weapon here that I just listed are some of the most powerful weapons of all time in Fortnite, and they're all in the same game at the same time, which is crazy to think. And this obviously leads to some mixed feelings in the Fortnite community. First, I want to talk about the pros and the cons of the meta, and then I'll give some of my own input based off my own experiences in game, and ultimately come to a decision on whether the meta is healthy or unhealthy for the game. First, we'll talk about some pros to this meta, and the first positive thing about this meta is that it definitely benefits players who either haven't played in a while and are trying to get back into it, and players who are just starting. This could be viewed as a good thing for the game because it really helps the below average players enjoy the game and have a chance to kill better players, and helps keep them all in the game and not just leave it because they got boxed like a fish and peace controlled all the way back to Warzone, since people can't play as skillfully this season because people can just spray you as soon as you box them, and the bullet bleed through will kill you if you aren't careful. So overall, it is helping keep the below average players stay in the game. The only problem is that in my eyes, that is the only pro to the spray meta, and the rest is all negative, and I'll explain how. The first con to the spray meta is that if you are even slightly above average at the game and have any understanding of how to piece control or just play skillfully in general, then you probably absolutely hate this meta, because there's almost zero ways to be skillful this season. Obviously, you can still do everything like boxing and piece control, but either way, it feels like every single fight ends up in a 50-50 SMG spray fight no matter what you do. So basically, no matter how good you are to a certain extent, a lot of really bad players can kill you by just brain dead spraying their SMG, which can be very aggravating, and the unskillful feel of the meta is just very annoying. The second con is the one that's been really annoying to me in particular, and it's the bullet bleed through on builds along with the time to kill on each weapon. There has been so many times this season where I'm holding a wall and someone just starts shooting their MK or Stinger from a distance, and no matter how well you hold your wall, the bullets bleed through and you can constantly get beamed while holding your walls, especially when you get third partied. Then there's also the DPS on these weapons that are all super high and can 200 to 0 you in literally basically 1 second. So if you get shot in the open, even if you react and build immediately, odds are you would have lost all your shield and maybe even some white health. And then the person who beamed you just Spidey gloves over and you're dead for the 100,000th time to a Stinger SMG. Another problem with the spray meta is the effect it has had on the comp scene. A lot of players this season have quit, at least for this season, because of the spray meta paired with the Spider-Man gloves and everyone just going around W-keying and killing you with an SMG every single time you die. The spray meta is so powerful, and in particular the Stinger SMGs, that people will literally run 3 or 4 SMGs and some heals, and that's it. They won't even pick up shotguns because they can't compete with the MK7AR and the Stinger SMG. Though this can be viewed as entertaining to casual players, it's clearly affecting the comp players negatively, and it makes a lot of pros dislike the game. Now, the final main problem with the spray meta completely plays devil's advocate to the pro of the spray meta, and it's that the spray meta doesn't actually benefit anyone, not even the bad players. Now, this may seem like a stretch, but if you think about it, the bad players who are playing the game because of the spray meta will leave as soon as the normal loot pool returns and the game becomes more skillful weapon-wise. So if the bad players are most likely going to end up leaving anyway, then why worry about keeping them on the game? Then again, you could argue that the meta now will help bad players get a better understanding of how to play the game, so when the normal loot pool comes back, they will be able to do fine with it. But the other thing to go with the bad players on the game is how many of the bad players are actually enjoying the spray meta. Because I feel like if you're a bad player, or say it's the first time you're playing Fortnite and every time you die, it's just someone spraying you with an SMG and you have no idea how to defend yourself against it, how do you enjoy that as a below average player? Now let's decide if overall the spray meta is good or bad for the game. Obviously, in my opinion, there's more bad than good about the spray meta, but I also feel like if you just play to have fun and don't look so deeply into the spray meta like it's a conspiracy theory or something, you will really actually enjoy it. The thing is that no matter what you think, you can play skillfully with these guns. The only time I feel like there's zero skill involved is off spawn when it's a SMG duel and literally a 50-50, but other than that, if you were the better player, you're probably going to win the fight. It's definitely annoying when someone just walks into your box spraying an SMG and kills you, but you can definitely defend yourself against the spray meta way more than you think. This is also the most fun on Fortnite I've been having since Chapter 1, and this is the most fun most people casually have had on Fortnite since Chapter 1, so if the spray meta is so bad, how can that be? My final verdict is that the game is actually in a great spot right now, and even though the meta is very annoying, it's also really fun to play with. The only big problem I have with the meta is the SMGs. I feel like they're way too powerful, and it shows because people literally carry them over shotguns, which is crazy because any other season the current shotguns would be considered really good, but they're insignificant compared to the SMG. I also think the meta spices things up in pubs and makes the game feel fresh and every game feel more interesting. So overall, for the casual side of the game, I think the spray meta is honestly a really fun and good thing because you can still be skillful and bad players can have fun too. The side of the game I think it's bad though for is the competitive side. Clearly most of the comp players hate this meta in the game right now. I think the comp side of Fortnite has a lot more big problems within itself than the spray meta, but that could be a topic for another video. So yes, this means I think the spray meta is a good thing for Fortnite overall, even though it definitely has its downsides, but I think if you don't look at it so negatively and deeply, you'll like it a lot more. Obviously, the same can't be said for the competitive side of the game, as they would say the complete opposite. Well everyone, I think that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments if you think the current meta is good or bad. Personally, it doesn't really bother me, but I'd say it's more of a good thing. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have a ton more content planned just like this, talking about multiple different topics in Fortnite we're excited about. Thanks for watching everyone, we really appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.